Hi, so today I'm reviewing the Noodler's Ahab. Yeah, so real quick, the first thing I really wanted to touch on was size. If we compare this to something like the Lammy Everything line, it's pretty darn close to about the same length and it's a little thicker up here in the barrel. Once we narrow down to I don't even know what to call that. Once we narrow down closer to the point, it's a little more reasonable. It's a lot closer there. So it's what would I call that? Pretty standard pen size. All right. Next point is appearance. I gotta tell you, the Ahab is probably one of the nicer looking pens that I've seen, which is really funny considering its price point. It's really reasonably priced. But hey, it is a pretty pen for not a whole heck of a lot of money. And I can appreciate that. Pretty sure my wife can appreciate that too. So it's kind of one of those things where you do get a lot of value in terms of appearance for your money if you're someone who likes to get compliments on your pens and things like that. Or, if appearances just matter to you, like, they probably should if you want to be successful in life, unfortunately. So, gotta say that. This is definitely one of the better appearance values for your money. I mean, a lot to be said for really plain, but come on. It's just gorgeous. Looks really good in pocket, too. Alright, so ease of use. Well, you saw me make a mess on myself filling the pen there. It's actually really easy to fill. As far as writing, hit or miss, I'd say. If I were giving 1 out of 10 values, I'd give it like a 5 or a 6. Maybe a 7. Sorry, 6 or 7. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's not a consistent starter. It's just not ever. Unfortunately, it's not a consistent starter once you get below the quarter fill mark. I mean, I only filled it about a little less than halfway for this review here. So it doesn't really do that. The feed here has to be set very specifically. I go ahead and use it at 10 little air channels there. Not that you can see what I'm talking about. Oh well. So I use about 10 air channels in, and that seems to be the sweet spot for the pen. Once you get it dialed in, it works pretty well. Ease of carry, like I said, this is a pretty standard pen size. No complaints. No complaints. It works. Going from something like a Kaweco Sport over to this, total mind-blowing moment there. It's really big. But as far as moving over from a different kind of pen, it's not a big deal. Best feature of those things on this, definitely got to be looks. Definitely looks. And the worst, it's got to be use. We should talk about this real quick, and that's why I kind of sped through a lot of the basic points that I like to talk about. So, as you can see there, that doesn't look like your regular... it's a little better. Fountain pen nib that you'll see on pretty much everything else. Why is that? Because this is what's meant to be kind of an entry-level flex pen. So, as far as this goes, you've got the Noodler's Ahab, and that's what we're reviewing today. And then there's the Noodler's Conrad. And I'm gonna totally forget how to do that. There we go. Right, so the Noodler's Ahab is what we have here. This is kind of the entry level. The Conrad's meant to be like a step up from there. That's why you see just the vertical slit. And that's meant to allow the tines to be pushed apart. If you're watching this video, you probably already know that. Now, I want to spend time talking about the flex. Flex nib pens are really cool. Just they are. But some people do like to complain that the Noodlers is not as good as vintage pens, and they don't really like having to fiddle with it. You know, it took me all of 3 times using this thing to really dial it in. And in terms of its actual flex, it's probably not up to snuff with the what's the word I'm looking for? Vintage stuff, and I'll admit that. But it does work out pretty well. Oops, sorry, shadows. But it does work out pretty well for me in most scenarios. You know, I was not putting a whole lot of effort in. That's one of the big major complaints is, you know, you have to put too much effort in. You don't. I think this is definitely a good entry into kind of the flex world. This pen usually retails in the mid-20s, and you know, I think it's definitely a fairly good value for your money. You'll get a lot of playtime out of it, that's for sure. You know, and so trying to keep it quick, trying to keep it simple. So that's about it. That's all I have to say. Do like this pen, do recommend it, and we'll see you next time.